Hello and welcome to Perfect Opacity. Today you're going to learn how to create an amazing color grading effect on an image that you can use when you're sharing your photos on social media or any other platform, or just in case you want to print your photo. So what you do first, you load your image and then you're going to double click to unlock the layer. Again, always best practice, create a copy of the original. So you're going to hit Ctrl J and you have a copy. On this copy I'm going to come over to filter and then camera raw filter. Perfect. Now we're going to adjust these settings to have a nice effect. I'll go through some of the key settings that we need to take note of. Temperature and tint, you're going to leave them as they are. Exposure, I'm going to just increase a bit of it. 5 is not bad. Contrast, I'm going to increase a bit to 6. It's okay. Highlight, what highlight does is that it intensifies the areas that are brighter, if I may put it that way. Let me just move up and about and see you see the effect. You can see if I increase the highlight, it only intensifies the areas that have a lot of light, but the dark areas still remain the same as the purpose of highlights. So, but in my case I want to reduce it. I'm going to set it to minus 44 is okay. Shadows affect the dark areas or the areas with the shadow. So if I increase shadows, it's going to lighten up the areas with shadows. If I reduce, the shadow is going to increase. Just do that way. You can see it's increasing. If I increase the setting for the shadow is going to reduce. So I'm going to set my shadows at plus 22. That's okay. Whites, it lightens up the entire image. You can see. In my case, I'm going to also set it to around 22 is okay. And then blacks you increase, it reduces the black tone in your image. You reduce it, it intensifies. So for the black I want to put it at 32 is okay. 32, perfect. Now the texture, clarity and the haze, you're going to leave them as they are. Let's come to the vibrance. Vibrance will only intensify the highlights. As you can see, if I increase it to 100%, you can see the areas that have high highlights, they're the ones affected. But for the vibrance, I just want a bit of it. I'm going to just simply set it at plus 1 or 2. It's okay. Saturation, if you increase, it affects the entire image, whether you have shadows and whether you have the highlights. If you increase, it intensifies, as you can see, and if you reduce, it affects the entire image. I'm going to set this one at plus 2. Perfect. You can see there's a change in my image. And then I'm going to hit OK. Then we're going to compare the original image with our current image. Let me just turn off this one and you can see the difference. And then I believe I love the effect that we have managed to achieve so far. Next, what we're going to do is that we're going to intensify this right hand side where we have the light emanating from in our image. Again, it depends on the kind of image that you have. Every image has its own dimension, has its own tones, has its own colors, but there are basic rules that govern color grading. Now, before I move on, there are 3 things I want to point out. When it comes to image editing and photo editing, there are 3 colors that come into play: the red, green and blue. And those are the 3 colors that are combined in various different proportions, and from them you're able to get the entire spectrum of the lights or the colors rather that you'll be able to obtain. So we have the RGB format. Now the most interesting thing is that once if you manage to increase the red color, automatically you reduce the cyan color. If you increase if you reduce the red color, you increase the cyan. If you increase the red, you reduce the cyan. Number two, if you increase the green color, you're going to reduce the magenta, and vice versa. And if you increase the blue color, you're going to reduce the yellow. And if you reduce the blue color, you're going to increase the yellow. And you're going to use that concept in the next steps. Now what you're going to do is that we're going to increase this intensity. Now if you can observe clearly, where we want to have light, we are more or less leaning towards the yellow, the magenta, and the cyan. So what you do is that come over to your adjustment layer, click on it, and you're going to select the curves. Perfect. Now for me to achieve a more light tone, I'm going to select on this tab here, I'm going to select the blue. And again, remember our concept, if you reduce the blue color, we're going to increase the yellow color. So I'll come over here and slide it down, and you can see we're having more of a yellow color. Nice, like that. And then what I'm do is that I'll come over and take it back to RGB, and this one is what it's going to do. I'm going to increase, and it's going to intensify all the colors like that. I think that's okay. Now, given that this effect has affected the entire image, but in my case I wanted to apply it on this area, I'm going to click on this layer mask, and then I hit Ctrl I to inverse select, and then I'm going to make sure that over here I have white over black. I'll come over and select the brush tool, and then I'm going to select the soft round, and you're going to increase the size to around, need a big one. Yeah, that's okay. And so what I'll do is that I'm going to paint this area, and you can see as I paint we have a more of a yellow outlook. The light is increasing on this end, while in this end on the left hand side it remains as it was initially. So just do your painting that way, and I think I love it. So now next I'm going to add a flare. I'm going to add a flare in this area where it appears as if our light is coming from. Now to do that, we're going to use the gradient. So I'll still come to new adjustment layer. I'm going to click on it, and then I'm going to come over to gradient. Nice. Click on gradient. On the basics, I'm going to use this first option, and then I come over to this top tab over here. I'm going to set opacity to 100. Then I'll come over to the this tab over here at the top. Then I'm going to set opacity to 0. And then I come down here for the color. I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to select a yellow. Perfect. I come to this other tab, I click on it. Then for color I'm going to select orange. Orange color will do. Nice. Perfect. Now on the linear I'm going to select radio. Then scale I'm going to play around it until I'm satisfied, and then I can move it the way I want. You can reduce this a bit like that. Say okay. Still on the gradient, you're going to change the blending mode to either screen or color dodge, whichever works best for you. And I think we can do screen. Now what screen does is that it lightens up your image. You can see the difference between when we had a normal, that's a normal, compare with when you set it to screen. I love what I see. And with this you can play around with opacity depending on how you want your image to be. At least we still get to intensify or rather add a flare on this end. Good. So if you're still loving this video, please hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so that you can be notified next time we create such a video. Now the next thing we're going to do is that we're going to highlight these hairs on the right side, the hair on the right side where we have the light emanating from. Still, to achieve that, you're going to follow the same process. You're going to come over to new adjustment layer. You're going to the curve, and then you're going to select blue. Again, remember, if we reduce the blue, we increase the yellow color. Nice, like that. And then green also we're going to reduce around there. Then you come over to B, RGB, and then we increase it to lighten up all the colors that way. And then again we follow the same procedure. I click on this layer mask and I'm going to hit Ctrl I to inverse the selection. And then what I'm going to do with white over black, I'm going to come over and select the brush tool. And then over here I'm going to come over and select the soft round pressure opacity flow. With this setting, I'm able to highlight based on how hard the keyboard is selected. So what we're going to do, I'm going to hit Ctrl plus to zoom in, and then with this brush setting I can draw. I'll just make a few highlights on this hairdo, move up a bit. Nice, I think I love it. Let me just deactivate this so that you can see the difference. If you just look at the hair, you'll see a nice effect on it. Perfect. And then next, what we're going to do is that we have these flowers which have the color red, white, green, and you're also going to create a curve to highlight them. So what you do, again, just come to new adjustment layer and then curves. So in this case we want to highlight the red. So what I'll do, I'll just come over and select red, and you're going to increase. And then you're going to select green. Just want it to stand out just note where the color we want, we increase. The color we don't want, we reduce. The color we want, we increase. The color we don't want, we reduce. So we want green, so we're going to increase it. Perfect. Next one is that we don't have a blue, so blue we're going to leave it as it is. We come to RGB, and you're also going to increase all the color tones. That's nice. Again, we click on it on the layer mask, Control I, white over black, come to the brush, and then you're going to select the soft round. This may be repetitive until you get what you exactly want. To increase the size. There. So on this end you're going to lighten it up, but this other end you're going to leave it as it is. Nice. So far I'm liking what we are having, and finally we're going to lighten up these faces on this end, on this where the light is coming from. Again, you go to curves, and then new adjustment layer, curves, and you're going to increase the yellow by reducing blue. Again, remember our code, like that. Then green, we're going to reduce it so that we can have magenta. Perfect. Then come over to RGB, and you're going to increase the light. Think about around there. Nice. You love the effect. Again, click on the layer mask, Control I, brush, white over black, take over the brush, adjust the size of the brush. Then I'm going to hit Control R, and then I'm going to paint over here. Presumably that's where the light is hitting, that way. Then along the hair, scroll up to the gentleman. Over the shoulder and the neck, then along the hair. Just do a bit of touch up. And then you can just reduce the opacity a bit, up to 75, and then you can merge all the layers by hitting Shift Control Alt E. And then we have our image. So I just want to deactivate this so that you can see the difference between the original image and what we currently have. So this is what we have. This was the original, so you can appreciate what has been graded in terms of color to our image. So thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to this channel so that you can be notified next time we upload any video. Thank you.